Alien Romulus is an American science fiction horror film directed by Fede Álvarez. It is the 7th installment in the Alien franchise, set between the events of Alien and Aliens, making it a midquel, but it's not mid, it's great. The film stars Cailee, Spaeny, and David Jonsson. Give that man an Oscar for real. It follows a group of young space colonists who come face to face with a Xenomorph and several of the alien components while they are scavenging an old, rundown space station.
Out of 10, what do you think?
I'm probably giving it like a 8 or 9.
Are you just scared of giving 10s?
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 10.
I could maybe give it but is it just recency bias? Like I just got out of the theater watching it?
It's so good, Hopper.
This is the best Alien movie since Aliens.
Yeah.
It's one of those that almost feels like a fan fiction. I saw a lot of people complaining that like, oh, it's too, my OC is in here and it's dealing with a Xenomorph, but like I don't think it feels like that. It feels like a Hollywood studio movie.
I do love there's a part where they just straight up explain the face huggers and the Xenomorph. Yeah. They just get it out of the way. They said, this is what it is. This is what you're fighting. This is what's happening. I love that. I was like, thank you.
There is like callbacks and touches to other movies as well, though. Like you're probably gonna need some alien knowledge to know.
Oh, for sure.
About like everything that's going on.
Yeah,
it's in the same continuity, but it's like
it's set time wise in between the events of movie 1 and movie 2.
Yeah, so it's sort of a.
So technically, Sigourney Weaver's character is alive somewhere in this movie.
She's asleep in a pod. Yeah, it must be. But no, I think it's don't do any de-aged Sigourney Weaver stuff.
No.
That's not in here. Don't do that. Yeah, we don't like that. Don't do that.
They and they'll listen to us.
Yeah, we are the binge warmers authorities.
Yeah. I'm Steven.
I'm Hopper. We watched Alien Romulus.
Yep, this is our spoiler heavy review.
Make sure to like and comment if you like the movie. If you did not like the movie, let us know why you didn't like it.
Yep.
We're gonna get into spoilers now, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it. They all look like kids to me, like teenagers. And they even said, like, we're going to go into hypersleep and we'll come out 9 years later. I thought, so the movie's going to happen after they come out and, like, an alien's gotten on board or something, you know what I mean? But then I realized, no, this all happens now. But they, to me, just looked super young.
I think they were, like, probably, like, 20s, ish. They were meant to be younger, though, because they were sort of inexperienced. Mm-hmm. And they're in this place where there's about 5 main characters, right? Yeah. And they're all trying to get off this planet because they're just mining. Yeah. And they keep they're trying to get off the planet. They're like, I've worked my allotted hours of working. I need to leave now.
Yeah. And they're like, we doubled your allotted hours.
Yeah. You need to work at least 5 or 6 more years for us before you can leave the planet. And then you see her look at the main character Rain is looking at this canary that's going into a coal mine, obviously. Yeah. And it's like, okay, then they're going to just, she feels trapped. Yeah. She's obviously trapped.
She is the canary.
Yeah. And she has a brother. They call him a brother, but he's a synth that her dad found.
Andy. I love him.
Andy is necessary to get up onto this spaceport that they found.
Because he can communicate with Mother.
I am your mother.
Yeah. Yeah. When are we introduced? So Mother, I don't remember Mother that much from the original movies.
I think it was like a background thing. Like it wasn't as big of a deal as it was in Covenant, for instance. Yeah.
Okay. I do like that it's old school. It literally feels like they could have made this movie in between the other two in the time-wise when it came to the special effects.
That's something that Rogue One does really well too. Yeah. Remember that movie? It's I like this trend of we're going back to the 70s. Everything needs to look like retro future kind of thing. Yeah. So I think that's cool. Yeah. Glad you pointed that out too. Yeah. But so Andy's necessary. He's kind of broken. Again, he was found in the trash, I guess. Mm-hmm. So
his motor functions are kind of messed up.
Yeah, he's almost like special needs, but as a synth. You know?
Because right before we knew it was a synth, we were like, it's a special needs guy, you know. And we were all like, no, please don't let the special needs guy get eaten by an alien, kind of thing. That was my first thought when I saw him.
Yeah. But then, so they need him to get on this spaceport that had drifted into their atmosphere, and then they were trying to get up there to find some of the technology. They were going to get the cryopods so they could sleep to the new planet that they wanted to go to.
Yeah. That's what I don't understand. So it's a 9-year trip, right? And I'm assuming they don't want to spend 9 years flying. Oh, I guess they don't have the
food or the resources.
That's what I just answered my own question.
Plus, you're 9 years older when you get there too.
Yeah, so you kind of want to have your own life, kind of thing. So I get it. But the guy was like, "It's only going to cover us for 4 years," and I was like, "Okay, then be alive for 5 years." But I'm not thinking about the food and water.
They don't have any food or resources. I think they probably could find some on that ship, that port that they're on. Yeah. But the setting was really cool. It kind of harkens back to Alien because they've got a ship that can leave, but slowly they keep getting picked off. So they've got less of a person to helm the ship and everything. Yeah. And they're on this. There's a ticking clock element to it too. Yeah. They get up on there and it's about to drift into their planet's ring. Yeah. Made of frozen rocks and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize, I was like, it's really bad when they finally do hit the ring. Yeah. So it's a good ticking clock element, keeping it kind of stressful. They go into this place where they don't have enough fuel for the cryopods, So you have to go into this room, and then there's like all these face huggers just like on ice.
Yeah, so they were taking the cryo ice from there.
Yeah.
But the second they do that, they're like, oh, we're shutting these doors. They're going to open up and stuff.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is they're doing all this to upgrade Andy, right? And then once they realize there's something in the water, they just start smashing the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you couldn't have done that 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to give Andy the upgrade, which I guess furthers the plot for Andy.
Yeah.
You know, because we see him kind of turn back into a company synth.
Yeah, so that was the whole thing with Andy. He's got this kind of bipolar arc in the movie. Like he's already special needs, but now he's got like a bipolar arc where he's not who they thought he was now. Because he needs
his primary directive got changed.
Yeah, his primary directive was to protect his sister, and now it's for the good of the company kind of thing. But then he needs an upgrade to get the door open, essentially. And he's different for like most of the rest of the movie.
Which is really cool.
More capable, though, too. You know what I mean?
He's definitely more helpful.
Yeah, there's like a face hugger at one point when he finally gets his reboot. Like, his reboot,
Yeah.
And like the face hugger's like running towards somebody and it jumps off of him and he kind of grabs it. And he's like, oh. And he just chucks it into the wall.
I love, too, it's so cool seeing how smart the Xenomorphs are, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, open the door, let her in. He's like, he's right there. He's literally waiting for me to do that.
It was just praying. It was
he was just sitting there watching with his like tail flicking behind him, and I was just like, "That's terrifying."
Oh yeah.
He's like, and then finally he's like, "Okay, you guys obviously aren't going to open the door. Let me just grab her then."
Yeah, because the synth was just like, "I'm just gonna, we're not doing that. We're not touching it.
Yeah,
please open the door."
Yeah, I also hate this. I hate it because I don't feel like humanity as a whole would do this, right? Because you know, you people like name and like pet name their. Roombas right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. But every time you see a synth in one of these alien movies, there's always people just treating it like absolute garbage and dirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get.
And I'm like, be nice to the synth, dog.
I get why they have that. It's just a little bit of social commentary, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, the guy in this one had a reason to hate the synth because his mom was terminated by a synth.
Yeah.
To save more people.
Yeah.
Her and a couple other people died to save another bunch of people. But no one else is really meant to him besides that guy.
Yeah, but you saw it in Prometheus. You saw it in Alien Covenant. You've seen it in the earlier Alien movies. Yeah. Like, I'm just tired of it, dude.
I think that's
and then you get upset when the synth kills you. Well, you treated it like for the past 2 hours. You know what I mean?
The synth in this was more. He's my favorite synth that we've ever had. Really.
Yeah.
I like Bishop from Aliens, but this one's like has more personality.
Yes, and the actor was able to switch between like helpless synth to uncaring, heartless synth, and all. It was just such good acting, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's mainly the bulk of the movie. It's like a bunch of face huggers get out, and they're
the face huggers. Let's talk about the face huggers. They were so good in this. They were terrifying.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
A lot of it was practical, I think, too.
Yeah, and I think that was a throwback because there's a part where you see it skittering, but none of its legs are moving. It's like getting pulled along by like a little string or something.
Well, it has like motors and it has like a wheel or something in its chest. So it's like
it literally felt like Alien or Aliens, like face hugger movement. You know what I mean?
And a lot of the they were looking at them kind of getting close up, and it was just kind of moving like one or two of their legs.
Yeah,
like that's very much like robotic.
And it's so terrifying to look at. The face huggers, I'm never usually that scared of them, because it's like, okay, just, But in this one, they made them scary. You know what I mean?
And they're sort of the problem. Like if a face, like if there's a xenomorph, like yes, that's bad, and that's obviously like can't really get away from it or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the xenomorphs, face huggers will like turn you in, like essentially turn your body into like an incubation chamber for an alien.
Yes, dude.
And that's way more terrifying to me than actually like
absolutely
an alien hunting me or something.
And the fact that facehugger was able to put that egg in the girl so fast was a little weird for me because in the first Alien, the guy was like with the facehugger for a while.
Yeah. But they go. I think the function of that is like they've got those breathing sacs or whatever.
Yeah.
So ultimately, what's more efficient is like they're gonna put the eggs down you and then like strangle you if someone tries to get it off of you.
Yeah.
But they're gonna keep you alive until it's ready to hatch. And then when they take the facehugger eventually dies because it doesn't have a function anymore.
Yeah.
But then it's keeping you alive essentially to incubate. So like as long as you're alive, the thing will still keep growing inside you. Mm-hmm. I think they put that in as soon as they get in. Put the thing in your mouth. Like they go ahead and do it.
It's terrifying when they pulled that thing off and you see this long tube come out of her mouth.
It's always sexual. Everything's sexual with Alien.
Yeah.
Everything's like designed to be penis or vagina.
Yeah.
Everything looks phallic or vaginic.
Yeah, vaginic. I like it. New word.
Vaginish.
Trademark. Binge warmer's trademark.
Yep. I do like that scene where they're trying to get away from the facehuggers and they don't have any eyes or like any kind of like way to tell, so that they figure out that they're just working off of like heat signatures,
which is so cool. So they raise the temperature up to like 98.6. And then you see the guy get like goosebumps and start sweating, and they can see you again. And the Andy was just like, run.
Run.
The chest bursting scene is phenomenal. Oh my god! Like it was like kind of like get stuck.
Yeah.
So it like took it a second
because it didn't
to kind of
fully like pop out like this. It kind of like pushed up one side of the ribs and was like trying to squeeze itself out.
Because it can't always be. I like that aspect a lot. It can't always be like a perfect chest burst. Sometimes it's like crap. Now I gotta kind of wiggle my way out of here.
Yeah, like this is so inconvenient.
Felt more real, I guess. It was a real way to do it.
Oh man, it was so good. Such a good movie. And then so we get throwbacks to Prometheus with the black goo.
Yeah, the black goo comes back.
They were able to take that out of the people that were on the ship were the ones that went to Sigourney Weaver Ripley's character's like ship and got the xenomorph from there.
Well, the xenomorph got sucked out into space from the airlock, and I think they were hunting that xenomorph, trying to figure out like. Because the company wants the xenomorph. That's been the whole.
They're like, this is evolutionary. So you can do so much with this. Let's just study
it's gonna kill everybody.
Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, they don't care. They're so far removed from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is really like peak capitalism hate. You know what I mean? Like
man,
the robot gets corrupted. Like the whole point of them being aliens on the ship is bad because it's company and stuff.
So we get the goo from the alien, and it's exactly from like what we see in Prometheus. And they're like, we're going to use this to advance the evolution of humans. But then we realize it's over evolving them. And we see the rabbit ends up like getting all.
It's like Amazing Spider-Man. You see the rat, and it's like, oh, good, the rat got its arm back. And then like later you see Peter go in there, and it's like eating the other rat in the cage with it and stuff.
Yes. So one of the characters, she's pregnant, and she's like hurt from the xenomorph and stuff, and she takes it, she gives it to herself because it's supposed to heal her or whatever. Wrong. I love that the new movie. It's kind of a drag, but like new movies try to do that third act final scare thing, and they do that in this one where everything seems fine, the xenomorph's dead, everyone's done, and then they're going into cryosleep, and then the lady who injected herself, her baby gives birth, and it's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like a space jockey human xenomorph guy, and it's just disgustingly gross, evil looking.
It's one of the. You ever seen Splice?
Yes.
It reminded me a lot of Splice.
Splice was also a very sexual movie.
Didn't like it a lot, but it stuck with me. I remember it all these years later.
Oh, it's a terrifying movie.
Terrifying.
But yeah, that's exactly how it feels. And so there's this whole third act of them trying to kill this mutated baby guy who killed his mother too, like was feeding off of her and stuff.
Yeah, it was like vampiric almost.
Yeah, because he had like a xenomorph kind of tongue thing.
Blade 2 kind of deal.
Yeah. Oh, or like the strain.
Strain kind of deal, yeah.
Ugh, terrifying though when we finally see him. He's all desiccated and
It
gross.
looks great though. Like it's good effects.
It's such good effects.
That's definitely CG special effects stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so good though.
She ends up like just it's a whole like thing. She goes in the cargo hold and it's like down there with her, and then she like has to release the like all these levers to get. It's such a tense.
But then he's using his tail to hang on to the bottom of it. Yeah. So
the fact that he has a tail, very interesting.
Ugh.
If we compare this alien human hybrid to the alien human hybrid from Alien Resurrection, this does it's way more effective.
Yes.
And that one, it just looks kind of sad, which might have been their intention, but it's not scary.
Yeah.
This dude's scary.
He's terrifying.
Also, he's a baby. He just popped out of the womb.
Yeah, and he was smiling though when he figured out like, oh, they can't stop me. I'm about to kill him, and he kind of like just yells into the sky. Yeah. Whoo, buddy.
I like that the alien doesn't have like any kind of higher brain function past. It doesn't have any motivation, I should say.
Yeah.
Its motivation is just to kill and reproduce.
Yeah.
That's all it wants to do. It's kill people and use their bodies to reproduce.
Yeah. Ugh.
And so that's, I guess, what this guy's doing too. He's just trying to kill him. Well, he's a little bit more human. He's trying to sustain himself, I guess. All the different elements of the alien got like pretty well explored. Like even like the acid blood gets a cool like anti-gravity scene.
Yes, and it's just like rotating.
Yeah.
Man, it's so cool.
They set that up early when they come in. The gravity's like turned off, but it'll have like a reset every 10 minutes or 10 seconds.
Yeah, just I don't know why they explained why it does that.
Yeah, you'll have gravity for a second. It'll go off again. Yeah, and then it just keeps kind of happening like that. So they're at the bottom level of the ship, and there's all these xenomorphs. And she has a gun; she can kill all the xenomorphs.
Yeah,
it's Aliens callback, by the way. The gun from Aliens.
Yeah, I saw that.
A lot of callbacks.
I like the callbacks.
We'll make the callbacks, but they're in zero Gs and they're just like shooting the aliens, and like all the acid blood just kind of goes around.
Yeah, because we don't want the acid to eat into the ground because we're in the lowest level and there's no blast doors down there. So if you eat into the vacuum of space, it's just bad. It's like it was a very interesting way to use the acid blood as like a plot mechanic. And then we also have like this really cool scene, stressful scene, you know. And then there's also like the facehuggers obviously get a bunch of play. They give me Flood vibes when they're chasing them down the hallway, you know. I'm like, this is what I'd want from a Halo Flood movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like put this in there. Even like the evil corporation vibe got kind of explored pretty well because like they wouldn't have had alien.
And I love how it's like, oh yeah, we were doing experiments on aliens. So like, obviously our space station is just defunct now. Like everyone's been killed and taken over.
And that's the crazy thing too is the company didn't come and check out that place afterwards. Final thoughts on Alien Romulus. Great movie.
Honestly, I love this trend of like, an old sci-fi property that kind of got run down, getting more life. Yeah. Like Planet of the Apes is a big example. That happened a lot earlier than this did. Prey came out. I know you didn't love it, but Prey came out.
I liked Prey except for the main character. Okay. I liked everything but that.
We'll save it for another day. Yeah. But out of this movie, I wanted Alien vs. Predator 2, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And I love too, we got done with the movie, and you're more cynical when it comes to movies than I am. Yeah. That's just a fact. No shade.
No,
but I love the fact that when the movie was over, you're like, yeah, movies are back. Cinema is back. And I was just like, let's go. He loved this movie.
I like that. Like, I was thinking like that picture of Scorsese where his hands are up like this and he goes, cinema. Yeah. Absolute cinema.
Yeah. It's just, man, it was such a good movie. I would highly recommend
Fede Álvarez, perfect director for this. Yes. I think they did a great job. The script was good. Tight scripts. It was like characters that I liked. There was no real bad moments.
No one overstayed their welcome either. People died pretty quickly when they needed to.
There was a bunch of callbacks that kind of got on my nerves. There was one, Andy, the robot, he kills Xenomorph and he goes, "Get away from her!" And then it pause.
Yeah, and he goes,
"You bitch!
Get away from her, you bitch!"
The famous line from Aliens. So like, why would he say that though?
Yeah,
you know
it makes no sense.
The audience got like a clap and cheer out of that. Yeah. It's like, come on, guys.
I was like, dude, don't cheer.
This is breaking my immersion, guys.
Yeah,
give me a break.
That. Yeah.
But then there was a bishop style robot in there. He was like he was sort of like a villain too. He was a good like half villain.
No, it was Rook, not Bishop.
His name was Rook, but he was a bishop model.
Yeah, but he's from Alien, isn't he? He was definitely a throwback because you could tell how much work they put into his face.
That was totally like de-aged Ian Holm, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, we need him in here. It's a callback.
Yeah.
So I know he's someone.
Is he still alive? Ian Holm? He's 111 years old.
Yeah. So,
Talking about sequels too, would you like? I want to see this girl be like the new Ripley. I want to see her be in the.
I think that's what they're trying to do.
She's having a banger year, by the way. She's been in a couple big things.
Really?
She was in like Civil War and stuff.
Oh, really? I haven't seen her before this.
She's good. She's like a new, fresh. That always happens, doesn't it? It's like some new, fresh actor gets found, and then they're like in 6 or 7 big movies, become a huge star, and then they probably either they'll become a star forever or they'll just like drop out. You know?
I do like the trend too. Like they were like Ripley from the originals is a strong female lead for this horror film series, and then they're like, well, we'll get a new strong female lead to it, and I like it a lot.
Every Alien movie has a strong female lead somehow.
Yeah, the girl from Prometheus.
Yeah, the girl from Covenant, the girl from AVP.
Yeah, so. I mean, I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Doesn't seem forced. It just feels natural.
It does feel natural. I do kind of notice it, though. Like, I'm like, there's no men in this universe.
There's 8 movies. You know, you're going to notice that all the guys are dead, but the one female has stayed alive. You know what I mean?
That's true. It makes more sense in, like, Resurrection when she's, like, an alien hybrid.
But it's never like, it's because I'm this buff, badass woman. It's just like, a series of unfortunate events have left me to be the sole survivor.
That's sort of a slasher holdover, too, because... I mean, Alien itself is sort of a slasher movie. I don't know if you realize.
Oh, 100%.
They just take one character at a time.
But it's got a better scary tone to it than slashers.
It's got more, like, ambiance and vibes and stuff, too. But the final girl is the trend.
Yeah.
Like, you have your final girl. So it's funny that, like, this has taken final girl as, like, you know, just, like, scared female, like, exploitation kind of thing. Yeah. To, like, oh, yeah, she's a strong kind of independent woman kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
And I loved it. I watched that whole movie last night, and I was just like, man, I've missed the Alien movies.
It kept getting better, too. I was like, oh, how are they going to top this? Oh, my God.
They topped it. Oh, my God. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. When the egg first opens, she's, like, running with it, and you see, like, a baby, like a human baby. I'm like, put that thing back where it came from or so help me.
It's got, like, acid, just, like, the stomach acid just, like, spurning her and stuff.
Gross.
Great. Great scares, great horror, great emotion,
great science fiction.
I recommend it fully. Go watch it while it's in theaters.
Yeah,